So if I were to describe my life before Christ, I'd say it was pretty similar to a lot of the norm out there. Found myself kind of chasing a lot of accomplishments, a lot of goals professionally. You could even say material items, and I was successful at a lot of that. But I think that life was quickly found without a lot of fulfillment, a lot of internal fulfillment. And so you find yourself keeping the search for more. And that searching for more kind of left that void where, it's missing because, frankly, it's missing. But you don't know what you're missing until, you get to the point where you accept Christ. You come in and you've surrendered yourself. And that's kind of where I found myself. I have 3 children. I have a 18-year-old who challenges me through his entire teenage years, and often tried to find ways to help him mature into the man that he is. Also try to help myself in parenting. And you always think that there's not a book for these kind of things. Well, maybe there was, and maybe there is. So I was kind of at this point in life where I found myself slightly empty and searching, and it was in a lot of quiet contemplation and prayer. I remember there was about 3 events that kind of succinctly happened in a row. One of which was me telling my children the power of prayer in and of itself. At that time, I couldn't even tell them who I was praying to. But the power of prayer, as we all know, is something far more existential than what we are. So as I was kind of educating my children on this, and hadn't really accepted Christ at this point, I had just gone to see a famous comedian. And I remember sitting there listening to him after having seen a couple other comedians who were foul and less than enjoyable. And this guy just struck me different. And I remember sitting there thinking, my gosh, I think that guy might be a Christian. And you start to piece things together as an adult, somebody who has not yet accepted Christ in their life, and you start to realize that all those seeds that have been kind of laid out over your lifetime may never have taken root then, or may have taken root, and they finally matured into a point where it all came together. And that's, I think, what really happened. So I was talking to Tom. I came here to Fall Creek Christian Preschool. My wife and I were blessed with a 3rd child, and he was preschool age, so we came, heard great things about the program here. And we kind of found the church, and it was just a timing. It was purposeful timing. It was his timing. So I had all these things kind of came together in a culmination, and the invitation from the church was there through the preschool. And it was really a point where, it was time. And I remember it was in the middle of the night, and I was praying at that point, not sure who, and then it dawned on me, it all came together. And I remember surrendering myself to Jesus. There that night, alone, nobody around. The Holy Spirit was within. It came together, and it was kind of amazing. I called up Tom the next about 3 days later, and said, "Hey, can I come in and talk to you? Can I come in and just, I don't know what's going on, but I got to talk to somebody about this." So Tom was, of course, more than cordial, and I said, "Well, yeah, come on in." So Tom and I sat down, and as we all know, Tom gets very, very deep into the Word. And I said, "Well, hold on, Tom, I just got to share with you what happened." And I said, "I'm not really sure what all this was." And Tom said to me, he goes, well, Chad, I think what this was that your heart was pierced with love, pierced by the Spirit. And I said, yeah, I think you're right. So he and I sat down for a while, and we kind of chatted about a variety of things, what it meant to be a Christian, what it meant to be a member of a church, what it meant to take communion, whether or not I could have communion. All these variety of questions that as an adult, you never really find yourself having to ask these questions, because until you're saved, I guess, you never really are there to be ready. So that's what we did. We sat down, we had a great conversation. Tom and I continued to kind of discuss our paths, my path, and continued to talk about the place of Christ in my life, what I can do to bring about His Word within my family and to others. And so now we're at a point where that Christ has brought a whole new meaning to my life. Even the words Jesus and God and Christ have completely different meanings. And I think that's so unusual to be an adult of my age, to be a new believer, and to be in a position where suddenly all wildly new, and you have such silly questions and confusion about what it is to be experiencing what we're experiencing, what our obligations are. And that's what this is. This is just a path that we're experiencing together. And it's been really phenomenal to do this with Tom and all the members of the church, and all these people I've met who I really knew no one here until I came in one day. And it's been a phenomenal journey.